Hello friends, I'm Tim Wildsmith, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the NIV Verse Mapping Bible from Zondervan. Okay, I've got a new Bible for us today. This is the NIV Verse Mapping Bible. Now this comes to us from Zondervan and an author named Kristy Cambron. Kristy, if you're watching this, I think that's how you say your last name, and hi, by the way. So Kristy is an author and a Bible teacher, and she developed this system called the Verse Mapping System, and it's a Bible study system. It's about finding key verses and comparing translations. There's a few different steps, and I'm going to walk you through it here in a second, but Zondervan put together this Bible with her. It's a really interesting way to kind of march through and study the Bible, and if you're looking for something new, if you're looking to kind of have a different angle, I love that. I love just saying, hey, I'm going to try a few different things. I'm going to study the Bible in a different way. I'm going to get out of my normal rhythm and try something different. This is a new Bible that's worth checking out for that for sure. So before we dive in, hit the like button for me, subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot of great Bible content coming out soon that you're not going to want to miss. So this is the NIV Verse Mapping Bible from Zondervan and author Kristy Cambron. Okay, I've got the hardcover cloth overboard edition, and it comes with this full color slipcase. There's all the information on the back. And then there you can see the Bible itself. So it's this really nice textured gray cloth overboard. It's got kind of a rose gold verse mapping logo on there. Same color on the spine. NIV Verse Mapping Bible from Zondervan and Kristy Cambron. There's a little ribbon down there. They make this in this edition. They have several leather soft editions. I have a copy of the Verse Mapping Bible for girls, which as far as I can tell, the contents is essentially identical. It's just the design of it is a little bit more geared towards girls, and the color and the different little elements they've included on the page. But other than that, the content is the same. And so as far as size goes, it's about 6.5 inches wide and 8 inches tall at the text block. So it's kind of got a wide margin, like a small journaling Bible, I guess you could say, a feel to it. And it's about 1 3/4 inches thick, so just a hair under 2 inches. So opening this up, you get your presentation page, title page. There's all the information there. And then your table of contents, a letter from Kristy about the Bible, and this is your how-to verse map. So the verse mapping system is essentially a five-point method of going through and studying. There's some information here about getting started, and then this is kind of your 5 different points. You have phase 1 is the verse, 2 is design, 3 is develop, 4 is actions, and then 5 is outcome. Those are your steps. I'm not going to read all of that, but I'm just going to show you how it works in the Bible. Then you get a preface for the NIV. Each book does come with a book introduction, so as you're studying, you get information about the book. It's kind of an intro section, and then you open up the Bible. You see this will lay pretty flat here. You get a 2-column text. It's an 8-point font. It's a little small, but it looks pretty good. It's the NIV Comfort Print typesetting from 2K Denmark, and then it has these journaling columns out here. So it really does kind of work as a journaling Bible. And 2-column text. It's journal columns out here, and you see some of these pages are just totally clean, normal Bible. So in a lot of ways, a big portion of this Bible is just a journaling Bible with space for you to take notes as you read. But then you have the verse mapping system. So the verse mapping system, it prompts you. There's over 350 selected verses with information here. So what you have is step 1 is the verse. Now they also have blank ones of these, so you can kind of choose your own adventure. So step 1 you see is the verse. So they've picked, in this one, 1 Samuel 12:16. They give you the verse there in the NIV. So that's step 1, is just picking which verse you're going to do. So in a bunch of these, they've picked it for you. They've gotten you started. Then the design phase is that you are comparing it with other translations. So they've given you the New King James and the NASB. So you're comparing the NIV to other translations. If you want to go with another translation that they haven't put here, you can write that in there. You can just read it from another Bible or from an app. And so you're just kind of comparing. I actually really like this. I do this a lot when I'm studying the Bible is I'll start with one translation and then I'll go and I'll see how it reads in another translation just to see how they change and to notice what's different. And that kind of helps you figure things out. You do get the translation notes for the NIV down here at the bottom. So if there's something different, you might be able to refer to some of those notes to see why they chose the things they did. Then you go over to the develop phase. In this one, she's picking out key words and you're studying the Greek or the Hebrew to kind of really do a deep dive into key words. Now, they've got a lot of the information here. They also suggest that you go to BibleGateway.com, which is a really awesome website. I used it all the time during seminary. And you can go and use the reverse interlinear feature to look up words like this. So even if there's words that aren't listed here, you can look up other words and they tell you how to do that at the front of the Bible, which is really cool. So you're comparing translations. In the develop phase, you're doing like a deep dive on certain words and key phrases that are in the verse. And then you're going down here to step 4, which is actions. What actions develop the story in this verse? What is happening in this verse? To whom? So it's just asking you to think about what's going on here. How is the verse moving? What's the direction of everything going? So once you do all that, once you compare translations, once you look at keywords in their original language, once you figure out what's actually happening here in the actions that are taking place, then step 5 is you go to the outcome. What is God saying to me today? How do I apply this to my life? I love that. I love it. I think it's a cool step-by-step process to really dig deep and understand. And this is what somebody like your pastor is going to do when they're studying the text. They're probably trying to get a big picture view, but they're also going through and they're studying verse by verse and really deciphering what's going on here. What does this mean? And then obviously we want to think about how we apply this to our lives. And that's kind of what this step-by-step process is doing. And then you get that at key places all throughout the Bible. So Kristy has kind of curated a set of 350 key passages or verses and given you a lot of this material to compare. So you don't have to just have it all figured out from the beginning. You can use these. But there's also at least one blank verse mapping page for each book of the Bible. I think there's about 70 of them, and there's 66 books of the Bible. So you have opportunities to choose the ones you want to do as you go through. And then obviously you have journaling places. So let's say this is 2 Chronicles 20:21. Let's say you decided you wanted to do another verse in here. Well, you can just do it all on your own right here. You can kind of fill all that stuff in. So that's the design of it. Really interesting system. I don't know a whole lot about Kristy, but I've seen some different videos online of hers, and there's some journals out there and some Bible study materials that you can find from her. She's a writer. She writes books as well. So it's a really, really interesting system that she's developed, and I think it's pretty meaningful. I think it'll be a good way. If this systematic approach to Bible study is like something that you're going, oh yeah, I love that. That's right up my alley, then this could be a really cool Bible for you. So New Testament, we don't go to red letter or anything. It's pretty simple. Again, 9.2 columns. You get textual notes. It doesn't have cross references and things like that, but it's really focusing on using this verse mapping system to help you study the Bible. And these things are just scattered throughout, so it really gives you a chance to do it a bunch of times. I would recommend maybe getting a journal. I think they have a verse mapping journal that you can use to kind of keep doing even more of this. You get a couple small things at the end of the Bible, and we get to the end of Revelation. You get, there's one of your blank ones, see? So you just get to choose your own adventure. Table of weights and measures, pretty traditional. A topical index, if there's certain themes that you want to go discover and look in on your own, you get a couple pages of that, nothing crazy. And then there's a couple pages, blank pages for notes here in the back if you just want to jot some things down. As always, a note regarding the typesetting, which I love, from Zondervan. There you go. Pretty simple, pretty clean, interesting system. It might not be for everybody, but it's a pretty cool way to study the Bible. So there you have it. It's the NIV Verse Mapping Bible from Zondervan and author Kristy Cambron. Really interesting way to study the Bible. It's got a few unique steps that you kind of follow and just kind of find yourself in a rhythm as you go through your Bible study. I would love to know what you think about this, so leave me a comment below. Definitely check out BibleReviewBlog.com. I've got a write-up of the NIV Verse Mapping Bible. I've got some more photos, and I've got links to where you can purchase the Bible there, all the pricing information, and those sorts of things. Definitely check out Bible Review Blog on Instagram and Facebook. We've got an awesome community out there. It's a lot of fun. And while you're here, again, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for me if you want to see more great Bible content like this. All right, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.